work with the people that are here. There are lots of people here, but to make it work in the Southwest, possibly you've got to be a little bit, dynamic. You've got to be, allow your business to perhaps work in slightly unconventional ways. Allow people to work when they want to work, where they want to work, and find ways of making that, a good thing for everybody. So yeah, that's the vision. Think about it, dream about it. I'm always dreaming about what my business is going to be, what this could be. It changes day by day as you meet more people. It changes where your vision, tweaks it a bit. But get excited about it, What we've got here is really, really special. I tell you, honestly, I've met probably, I don't want to brag, but I've probably, made about 100 new friends over the past month and spent a huge amount of time drinking coffee and chatting to people. The benefits of that for me have been huge because I've just learnt so much. And I'm not suggesting you all go and do that. I mean, that's probably pretty extreme. But to take a bit of time out of your day to just go and meet people and talk to them and learn a bit more and be open to this idea of collaboration and working with them, then you are all going to benefit. Final thing, in fact, I think I pretty much covered everything. But there are kind of tips and actually things that actually work. If anybody wants to organise an event like this, I tell you, that is the best thing you can do, actually just go and meet people and chat to them about it, and the more the better, and just get a buzz going. Lots of cups of coffee, and it works. Eventbrite's brilliant for getting something going. I've learnt lots of just practical things on running an event. Have your date set in a month in advance, and if 2 weeks before you're not belting up the publicity, even though I didn't use any mainstream publicity, then it's not going to work. So if anybody wants to organise an event or get a group going or whatever, I do think I've got some real practical tips that I can help you with, and I'd love to help you with them. I think the more stuff we've got going on, the more subgroups, crossover groups, whatever, the stronger the community bees, the stronger it will be. There should be a lot going on. It shouldn't all just be about one thing, really. So that's all I have to say. Thank you all very much for listening to me. Would anybody like to share some ideas, thoughts, ask any questions, anything at all? Any brave soul out there? Silence. Yeah, go on.
All I was going to say was, when you're talking about like vision and stuff, I was chatting to some people a minute ago. I'm currently a student, and my idea was get my degree and leave, go to London, earn the money, come back. And I think it's important that we try and change that mindset that we don't need to go up there and keep it all down here. And that's all I was thinking. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think sometimes, you try as much you really want to stop down here. There will be some inevitable times that you do have to take a job, but you can keep connections here and work towards moving back here, when the time's right, and come back for, the odd social event. You can still work remotely and do loads of stuff. So do encourage people to just, even if you do have to go away, come back, put something back into the community.
Hi everyone. I'm a freelancer, and sometimes I like to look on the job forums and see how much those people in London are actually getting paid. And you've got to remember that the cost of living in London is a lot higher as well, not just in monetary terms, maybe in time terms, travel, things like that. Maybe you could earn £60,000 in London, and you'll be working some pretty hefty hours, I'm sure, to get that kind of money. And you'll be travelling, and you'll be paying very, very high rent. You've got to imagine that if you earn £30,000 down here, actually you might be paying half the rent, and you'll be getting another 2 hours added to your day that's yours. So, the amount of money that you're earning isn't necessarily representative of your real monetary value of what you're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I mean, having been in the southeast myself, it's a great buzz. It's, quite exciting for a while. The franticness of it, the busyness. And I wouldn't, say to people, don't do it. I think it's good to do it for a while. But there are a lot of downsides. And certainly when you've got children, I mean, I had a young daughter and I was just craving green space. It's the cost on your health as well. So you do have to weigh all these things up. And I think that's why a lot of people do eventually, come back to the southwest or move here from other parts of the country. It's certainly why I'm here. Anyone else want to say a word before we move on?
I was going to say that I think things like this are particularly good because taking quite a Luddite approach, technology has had a negative effect as such on community, because before people were very location based and they had to collaborate with the people that were in the location that then build your village, your town. And I think it's really important to utilize the power that we have with all these technologies to bring people together in events like this into real world so you can actually focus on your community.
Thanks, Finn. I think I'm going to hand over to Ben because I've talked.
Cool. Hiya, my name's Ben, and this is my presentation. This is me in a nutshell. I'm the head of web development at Fuel Communications, which is a company in Plymouth. I'll talk about that more in a minute. I'm an annual MoBro. I don't know, is anyone else in here a MoBro yearly? Really cool, one person, awesome. I like to call myself an average drummer, and I'm an all right beatboxer. And I do long distance running once a year in the Plymouth Half Marathon to raise money. And that's me on Twitter, so give me a shout. I'm going to go through a couple of things today, and I'm also going to share that information on Twitter because we're going to do a little bit of a workshop later. So we're going to get a few ideas of collaboration tools from different people in the room, and hopefully we can exchange a few ideas, a few tips and tricks. And I'm going to make a few notes, so don't think it's weird if I just pull out my pen and I'm stood there writing things down. I'm going to put it all together and hopefully publish it online, and then everybody can check it out later on. So. Right, so that's basically me in a nutshell. My personal life is pretty much based around the fact that I live in the southwest and I try and enjoy a nice lifestyle, and I do thoroughly enjoy actually working in web development. So. Fuel is a traditional marketing agency. They have departments set up for web development, graphic design, branding, PR, marketing, and online marketing. They combine that together to give the title of an integrated marketing agency, which a lot of agencies do. I don't really know what it means, but that's it. My role is as the head of web development, as I said earlier. I started off actually coming into Fuel replacing the role of an all-round web developer. They had one person, and as an agency, they had that one person just doing all of the web development work. As soon as I started that role, I found pretty quickly that I needed to adapt that role to become actually a little bit more specialised, mainly because as a single person I was limited in my capacity, and I didn't generally enjoy having to be the jack of all trades. So that's one of the things that I'm going to talk about a little bit more here today. So we're going to be discussing collaborating with individuals and agencies, so that's us working together as single people and also different companies and different teams of people working together. So I just want to get a quick idea of the people in the room. I know there's a few people out, but how many of you are freelance developers? So you're the all-rounder single person who does everything. Okay, so that's actually quite a few of you. How many of you are part of a development team? Okay, that's quite a good mix. And how many of you would consider yourselves to be project managers? Okay, that's pretty good. That means I've actually got something relevant to say to all of you, which is great. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the kind of the lone developer, because it's kind of a position that a lot of us have been in when we've started off web developing, and as freelancers we do tend to fulfill that role. So, I mean, a lot of people will agree that working as a freelancer is pretty cool. You get to be quite flexible. You're sort of in control of your own time, and you do have multiple skills, and you can kind of tend yourself to those particular skill sets. So and you get to pick and choose your own projects, which is the greatest thing, whereas when you're working for an agency or a team, often you're just past work and you have to just do it regardless of whether you actually want to. The all-round developer is, he's got actually quite a lot of positives. He's an adaptable person, he or she is an adaptable person, understands all aspects of the project, relies on themselves only, and has direct control, direct communication with the client, which is often a benefit for that client because they get to talk to somebody who knows exactly what's going on with the entire thing and can just deliver on that project in its entirety. There's a couple of things that you have to take into consideration when you are the all-rounder is that you are fully accountable for all aspects of that project. So whether it be the actual technical support side of it, so if that server goes down, it's you that has to deal with that. If that particular script fails, it's you that needs to deal with that. If the design, someone doesn't like the actual look and feel of the site, it's you that has to deal with that, which can often be quite sort of, I wouldn't say that it's particularly stressful, but it can add an added level of stress that you don't get if you work in part of a team. You're also part of a solitary working environment, which we've sort of talked about earlier, in that it's, people can find themselves just working on their own for a long period of time, not really get out and meet other developers. You're also limited to capacity. It's just you there to do the work, and you, as one person, can only do a certain amount. My cue cards are just going really, really rubbishly because I'm not following them, so I'm just going to wing this a little bit and go on my presentation. One of the other things that I think you find you do, or I found I did as a freelancer working as the all-rounder, was that I spent more time doing things that I didn't want to do, especially things like planning and technical support, and less time actually just getting involved in what I wanted to do, which was playing around with front-end web development. This is a little section on what I would call the collaborator. The collaborator is, I think, of a fairly fortunate person. He gets to work with others. He works on larger scale projects. He's objective focused, which means he can just actually work on a task without too many distractions. You get to share skills of the team that you work within, whether that be a temporary team, whether it be your permanent team. If you're collaborating on a regular basis, you do get to mix with other developers and share those skills. You do have a faster project turnaround, and I do think that's true, that two people will get the job done quicker. It might, from a company perspective, be more expensive to hire two people rather than one, but they can turn out the projects faster. There's often an added level of efficiency from the fact that you've got two minds working to actually solve problems. So, and the addition when it comes to collaborating with individual freelancers is that there's a chance that if you are collaborating with one person, there's a chance that if you have a good job and you build up a good relationship, that they'll come to you for future work. So you do have the potential of future work from team members when you collaborate on projects. I'm going to talk a little bit about the competitive side of web development, which is something that a few people have alluded to earlier, and that when you are a freelancer, you often find that if you come to events like this, you might view every single person here as a competitor because they're all after the same work as you. They're all after the same projects. You all have various different skill sets. Some of you are better than one thing than the other. One thing which I was told by a freelancer, this is about 3-4 years ago when I first started out, which was a key bit of information which I want to share with you today, and hopefully it's going to be on this next slide, otherwise I need to skip a few. There it is. Every competitor is a potential collaborator. And that really applies to not just individuals, but also teams and also agencies. As a company, if you view every single person who works in the same industry as a direct competitor and close yourself off from working with them, you're actually stopping yourself from being able to experience quite a wide range of new skills and actually test out your team's capabilities by seeing how well they actually fit out working with another team and might be well established. There's a couple of things that you need to, I guess they're the ground rules if you are looking to actually collaborate with people, is that don't expect work from other developers. As an individual, you can't just expect that another individual is going to pass you work, and you can't really go at it with that attitude.